Hello, friends, and welcome to the Friend Leigh Show. I am your host and friend, Leigh. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. It's a brand new month. And so that means that we're going to be doing a brand new theme and, or what do they call it? Series. And so I've been trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. There's so many things I want to talk about. And I really think that this month we are going to talk about simplifying our life. It is such a cornerstone to happiness. The more that we're able to simplify the things that are around us, the easier it is to like tap into our true nature of happiness. So, this month we're going to be talking all about simplify to thrive. And in case this is the first time that you're watching the show, here's what we do. So we record every week live at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, or whatever the equivalent is for you. And we do that on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and LinkedIn. And you become a part of the show. If you make a comment, you automatically, well, not automatically, but you become a part of the show because I'll pull your comment up and now you're either sharing your experience or your questions or just your comments. And that's my favorite part because I love being in communication with you guys. Or you can do like some of the people right now that are watching it and just watch on the sidelines. And I can see that there's eyeballs, but I don't know who you are unless you comment, which that is totally fine. Or maybe you're listening to us on the audio version, which is great. But if you are and you want to have a more kind of immersive experience, I want you to come over on Wednesday nights and be a part of the show. Okay. So, and I'll show you exactly how that works. Actually, Mel is here. Hello, my beautiful friend. Well, hello. Hi. Is your hubby with us tonight? I hope so. So happy that you guys are here. Mel, if it's just you, I'm so happy you're here. So, yes. So the other thing that I want to tell you in case you're watching this for the first time, welcome, welcome. There's two things. One, I'm not a healthcare professional in any means. So I never want you to take anything that you hear in this show as either treatment or diagnosis. Okay. So I want you to think of it as if you've been invited into my home. We're sitting in our living room. You brought a friend, I brought a friend, and we're having a conversation. This conversation tonight will be about simplifying our life. And we always look every week at one of the pillars of the happy framework. And so this week, we're going to be talking about simplifying and how that relates to our health and our affection for ourselves. Okay. So Mel says, yes, he is. Don't know why he hasn't come on. Okay. That's okay. We will hear from him soon, I'm sure. So if you are listening to this in the audio version, that is where it becomes a little bit bouncy, more so than your typical podcast, because it is a conversation with your friends. That being said, I want to share just a really quick thing that I'm super, super excited about. You guys know that I've been talking about the Happy Circle for a very long time. Well, we've been in beta testing for probably about 8 months, and I've tried different things to see what people are really finding value with. And now I think I have like the secret sauce, exactly what we need to be doing in that group. Will it evolve? Absolutely. Will we end up doing different things and more things? Probably. But for right now, every time that we introduce something new, we experiment with it. And then I ask people in there, hey, did you find value from this? Are you enjoying this? Because I don't want our membership to be like other people's memberships where you're kind of just like, you pay to be a part of it. And then you kind of like, you get excited in the beginning and then you kind of fizzle out. I want this as to be a friendship, that we are in this. It's not just a membership, it's a friendship where we are in this and we are growing together, thriving together, sharing our happiness together. And so we just kind of had a relaunch where I simplified the experience. So then there's not as many places to kind of go, but increase the value. So we've got a book club, we've got our mastermind, our accountability, we've got a happy hour, which is tomorrow night. I'm super excited about that. And then we've got different chats for all of these things. So then you can stay really accountable throughout the week. And then every month we are bringing back the 22-day challenge, or every month we're bringing back the 22-day challenges, which that was a big part that people were saying. I love the daily videos. I love the daily accountability where you say, hey, I want you to do these 3 things, or at least here's a couple things for you to think about today. And so we haven't done that in a couple months because we were trying, again, we were in beta, trying other things. And it always comes back to that being a super core part of it. So that's back. So if you guys are interested in checking it out and becoming a member, I want you to do that. You can find more information at hellohappiness.ca. Yes, it's a Canadian website, but even if you're American or European or Australian, you're able to access it. So, and if you have any trouble, just reach out to me. Okay. So let us see. So Pops is here. He says, I made it and I'm bring 9 viewers with me. Awesome. Okay. So awesome. Hello, everybody. And then Mel says, hey, Pops, viewers, this is cool, Britt. Oh, that is so awesome. So I'm assuming that they are watching in Twitch, right? Is that what's happening? That's super, super cool. Thanks, Britt. I love it when you guys bring friends. That's so fun. Pop says, Mel and I have a good story for the youthful pillar. Ask her. Okay, Mel, share it with me and share it with us. So today we're going to be talking about health and affection for yourself, but they all really intertwine. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say on that. Now, if you're listening to this in the audio version, I do like to start with kind of a little bit of information. So then it's not as bouncy. It will become more bouncy as we progress. But I like to share some things for you guys to think about. I like to share some science, because happiness, people are thinking that it's like really woo-hooey, and it's not. We are always striving out there to find the relationship, the job, the promotion, the car, the thing, to find our happiness. And happiness is our default. So what we have to do is we have to start looking inside. And the best way to do that is with this 5-pillar framework. And so today I want to talk about a few things. So in the book club, we are going to be doing a book. It's called Do Less by Kate Northrup. Kate, if you're listening, hey. I'm sure she's not, but wouldn't that be cool? So we're doing a book called Do Less, and it's really geared towards women, because women are, we work on a 30-day cycle, a 28-day cycle, where men really work on a 24-hour cycle. But the reason why I chose the book, even though we have men in this group, is because what it really talks about is really doing less better. So we're all like kind of in this hustle. I got to do all these things. I got to do this, and I got to do it great. And I've just got to keep moving. But we don't take a minute to sit back and say, wait, is everything I'm doing really pushing the needle forward? Is it really adding to my happiness? Is it really adding to my quality of life? We don't think about it, and we just keep going. And like, you're striving for all of this stuff, and then we're having to work harder to keep up with the Joneses or whatever the thing is. And so it's really like paring down and figuring out, like, what do I need? And what do I have to do with the energy that I have right now? So then we're not feeling that burnout. So I think it's going to be wonderful to be talking about this all month long with you. And I think it's going to help us with our overwhelm. So the chronic stress that everybody is feeling right now, a lot of it is coming because we're overcommitting. Okay. So we are overcommitting to our growth. We're overcommitting to the people around us. We're overcommitting to our work schedules. We're overcommitting to be everything to everybody. We're saying yes all the time, and we're not saying no enough. We're not tapping into, do I need this? Does this work for me? And so that is not only like making us overwhelmed, it's actually hindering our immune system. That's why so many people are getting sick. So many people are landing in the hospital. It disrupts our sleep, which then affects our health, and it causes emotional fatigue. There's something that's called decision fatigue. And I've noticed that actually a couple of my friends have been talking about it recently. And they've been using these practices of kind of saying no or tapping into their energy. And it's making it a lot easier to not have decision fatigue. So people talk about morning routines, nighttime routines. And the biggest benefit from that, it almost doesn't even matter what you do in that morning routine or that nighttime routine, as much as the fact that you have it and the fact that you have the discipline to do that. When you wake up in the morning, if you have a routine, you actually stop the decision process, right? You get up, you make your bed, you go for the run, you have your coffee, you have your protein, you go to work, whatever it is, right? Like you have this routine. Well, you become that you're doing it in autopilot. So you're not making a decision. Oh my gosh, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to work out? I need to work out. Am I going to go for a walk? No, I'm going to do weights. Do I want to do weights? I don't know. What kind of weights? What am I going to? There's so many questions and decisions that you have to make that if you can clear those out with a morning routine and then a nighttime routine to be prepared for the morning, you are adding so much energy that you can use for things that you need to make decisions down the road. The other thing is that your nervous system, it loves simplicity. It doesn't want to be making decisions all the time, because when you're constantly making decisions, your body stays in fight or flight. A perfect example actually is my sister. So my sister, you guys know that she's been here for a while, right? And one of the big things is she's got to get her protein in, she's got to get her calories in. And so they're pumping her with like, okay, here's the Ensure and here's the Magic Cup and all this kind of stuff. And she doesn't want to have it because she's sick of having these supplements. So then, but she constantly has to think, okay, am I going to do this or am I going to do that? Am I going to eat this or am I going to eat that? And so maybe a week ago, I was like, why don't we just sit down? Why don't we just take a break? Why don't we just see what are the things that you like having? And let's make a list. Let's count the calories. Let's count the protein and let's make a menu. And let's not make it that you have to make this decision every single time that the dietitian comes in her room every single afternoon. What are you going to have tomorrow? And it's like you're spending all of this time, you're in fight or flight. And then once the meal comes, you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to eat next? What am I going to eat next? Where now she's having the same stuff come. She makes a couple of decisions like for lunch and dinner, what the main meal is. She has backups. So if she like gets overwhelmed that she doesn't want to make that decision, she can just go to the backup and doesn't have to worry about it. And she has opened up so much more energy to be able to eat the things that come, and she doesn't have to think about it. And so now she's actually, by doing less and thinking about this less, she's actually been eating more calories consistently. All of the nurses are like, wow, I don't know what's happening, but this is so good. Today, she ended up like getting in her head where she was like really trying to make all of these decisions like, oh, no, I don't want this. And she was burnt out again. And so now we just like, before I came on here, I was like, let's just pare down. Let's just see what you need to do. Let's put them all in front of you and just do it. And so now it's not decisions. It's just autopilot, just doing the things. So decision fatigue is a real thing, and simplifying your life is a big, big thing for you to be able to feel happier and be able to open up the ability to feel happy. So one of the things is, I always leave you guys with a couple action steps that you can do. And I'm going to put these in the happy circle because now inside of the happy circle, the other thing that I did is I have a section just for podcast. So we're going to continue the conversation over there. So we could be talking about these action steps throughout the week. Did you do them? Did you experiment with them? And how did it show up for you? And how are you going to like kind of integrate that into your life? So here are some of the things that I want you to start doing or start thinking about is the subtract to support challenge. Okay. So this week, I want you to remove one commitment, activity, or mental pressure that doesn't serve your energy or your health. So I want you to think about what is one thing that I do or that I've committed to in this coming week that's just going to drain me. And then just politely say, you know what, I'm just not going to do that. Okay, so I want you to try to do that. Then I want you to create a 3-item self-affection routine. Okay. Super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay. So it might be like, I'm going to drink water. I'm going to stretch and I'm going to speak one kind word to myself every day. That's it. You've made the decision now. And now you can do that every single day. Okay. So just make it a 3-item self-affection routine. I would also like maybe add like a gratitude in there. So maybe it would be like drink water, have 3 things that I'm grateful for, and one kind word to myself. And then I wanted to share something with you because I struggle with saying no to some people because I'm like, oh, I just really want to show up for everybody, right? And one thing that really, really helps is if somebody invites you to something or somebody wants you to help with something or they want you to take part in something and you're like, oh man, it sounds really good, but I just don't have the capacity to do this. Something that's really good is for you just to be able to say, you know what, that sounds wonderful. And thank you so much for thinking about me. But I'm actually in a space right now that I don't want to add anything else to my plate. Or like one of my girlfriends says, she'll say, my plate is as full as I want it to be right now. I hope you understand. And you just leave it like that. You don't have to explain. You don't have to say all the things that are on your plate. You can just simply say that it's wonderful. Thank you for thinking of me, but I have my plate as full as I want it. I hope you understand. And people, what are they going to say? No, I don't understand. Why can't you do this thing that I want? Right? So now I want to see what you guys have to say. And then we're going to get into our lightning round. So if you're new to the show, we always do like 2, 3, maybe 4 lightning round questions. So we get to know our friends in here. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. So where are we? Oh, Mel says that we played ball. That's awesome. Okay. So what does ball mean? Is that baseball or basketball? Which one is it? Or football? Are you guys throwing the football around? Tell me what that means. Pop says they are watching my Twitch stream. I am still live and going back to racing after this. Awesome. That's so cool. Well, hello, Brit's friends. That's so, so awesome. Okay, so Mel says, catch and toss the football around. Yes. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. I am going to pretend that you did that because I told you that Mike and I were doing that. But if you came up with it on your own, that's also awesome. Did anybody throw a good spiral? Let me know. Okay, so Pop says, by the way, the earrings and glasses pop off your blouse. Well, thank you. Hey, you haven't really said anything like that in the last couple of weeks. So thank you. And you are going to be seeing glasses on me probably forever now. I've been told that I'm not allowed to wear contacts. Well, I am, but probably only for another 6 months if I wear them every day. So I've decided I'm going to start wearing glasses. So I have an appointment at the end of the month, and then I'm going to try that pair eyewear. I don't know if you guys have seen it, that it's like magnetic toppers that go on your glasses. So anyway, I'm super excited about that. So you'll see a lot of different glasses if they work for me. Okay, so Mel says, that's awesome for your sister. Sounds like her control is slowly moving, or her cortisol is slowly moving in the right direction too. Yes. And she's finding ways of kind of calming her nervous system. She's been working with a therapist too, which, I always say, like, I think that we need to just normalize having a therapist. I think we should have a doctor, like a GP. We should have a dentist. We should have an eye doctor, and we should have a therapist, like non-negotiable. That's what we need for our health. So anyway, boom, boom, boom. Sound guy is in the house. He says, lately I've been feeling burned out with all the personal growth and self-care, self-love. I've plateaued. On one hand, there's the routine you're talking about, and then there's the need to vary self-care. Yes. Okay. That's totally fair. Yes. I see you're saying more. So now I'm going to go to that, and then we'll come back to that kind of duality and the things that we have to kind of toggle between. Sound guy says, and I don't like that this feels like a business strategy. I feel like I'm at work, and I don't like that feeling with my self-care. That is totally, totally fair. Yes. Okay. And then Mel says, I always throw a good spiral. And then Pop says, Mel does throw a good spiral. Woman, oh my gosh, next time I see you, or next time I go to unless you come to Canada. But next time I come to Texas, we're going to have to throw the ball around because I have a pretty good spiral too. Okay. So sound guy. Yes. I think we were talking about this before about kind of setting the intention of what we're doing. So if you look at it like it's a business strategy, if you look at it like, oh, this is something that I have to do, then yeah, you're going to get burnt out even with self-care. And I think like, that's why I think some of these morning routines are like insane, where people are like, no, I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I got to do all of this stuff. And it's got to be like this 15, point thing that I'm doing. And then they don't get their sleep. They feel like if they haven't done all 15 things, then they failed. But I think being intentional is really, really important. And that's also going to change, right? Like, that's why I think this book is going to be really helpful for all of you guys. I've read it before. I absolutely love it. But figuring out what you need in the season that you're in right now. So even as a male, for us, we have to think about it by week, right? Like as women, but even as men, you guys are still affected. You're affected by the season of your work. You're affected by the moon cycle, believe it or not. You're affected by, maybe if you have kids, maybe the summer looks very different than it does in the fall. Maybe the fall is just like insane for you. Maybe Christmas is insane for you. Whatever it is, we have to always be checking in to see what do we need, right? And so that's where we can be changing things up. Having the routine is, I don't want you to pile things on and say that I have this amazing morning routine. I would prefer for you to be able to say, okay, you know what? I'm spending this amount of time on myself. And when you wake up, have a plan so you don't have the decision fatigue, right? So before you go to bed, that's your nighttime routine that you're like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to go for a walk first thing in the morning. And then while I'm making my coffee, I'm going to read a book. Okay. But then you wake up and you're like, oh man, I just didn't sleep very well. And I told myself that I'm going to go for my walk and I don't want to, but I'm going to go do it. And now it's like, feels like shit. But then you can ask yourself, why did I want to go for the walk? Well, I wanted to move. Okay. And I also wanted the sunlight. Well, maybe you just go sit outside. And so you still get the sunlight, but you've made that time that you're going to do the self-care in there, and you check in with yourself before you do it and say, what feels good to me? So I totally get what you're saying. I'm hoping that I'm helping you in this. But if I'm not, or if you're still like kind of annoyed by some part of your self-care, let's talk about it. If you end up coming over to the Happy Circle, which I really hope you do, we're going to be having these conversations all the time. And that whole thing that you're talking about, making it a business decision, being in it and constantly like having to be on in your self-care, that's the whole reason why I don't want this to be like a membership where you're driven. I want it to be there that's why we meet every week. We meet every week so you're staying on task all the time. So you're really checking in with yourself and becoming aware of what you need for that coming week, looking at your schedule, looking at what came up with the kids, looking at what came up at work, and really figuring out, what do you want to do that week, right? It's different when you have if you have a mastermind and you're only meeting quarterly, or you're only meeting once a month. And then you're just you constantly all month feel like you have to hit these goals. And so even just the real estate that it takes for you to be thinking about what you have to do, it's draining. And then we don't do as much, where if we can really be focusing on our happiness and checking in and tuning into ourselves, very consistently every day, every week, it becomes a lot easier for us to iterate and iterate and iterate. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we just got another comment, but I'm not going to share it because I'm pretty sure that you're a bot. So hi, bot. Okay, Pop says language. What did I say? I'm sorry. Shoot. Did I swear? Mel says, been sitting outside every day since school has been out. I'm dark, girl. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm actually, it's so funny. I'm sitting in my sister's room right now because the room that I normally in, you can see I don't have the windows behind me. I put the window in front of me. They're doing the floors. They just came in at like 4:30 and they're like, sorry, but you're not going to be able to sit in here. And I was like, can you do this tomorrow? I have a show. Anyway, no, they could not do it tomorrow. They had to do it today. So I'm actually sitting in my sister's room and I just heard my mom go, no, honey, I don't think you swore. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love you, Mom. Okay, so let's get to the 3 questions. Let's do those. And because normally we do this and we try to wrap up at visiting hours, which is 8:00. But we're here at 8:00. So we're going to do just 3 quick questions. I always get ChatGPT to do them based on our theme and the pillar that we're talking about. But the reason why I get ChatGPT to do them is so that I can participate in them and I didn't make up the questions. So I also didn't read it before the show. So we'll see. I hope they're good. They usually are. So let's see. So I'm going to read the 3 questions. I want you to answer them, but I want you to answer one at a time, push enter, and then put it up there so we can have a conversation because I do know that it takes you a little bit to type, right? So here are the 3 questions. 1, what's something you've said yes to lately that you wish you hadn't? Okay, that's a good one. Number 2, what's a simple daily habit that makes you feel amazing? Okay, good one. Good job, ChatGPT. And number 3 was, when do you feel most calm and centered? Okay, those are pretty good. So the first question is, what's something that you have said yes to lately that you wish you hadn't? Okay. Oh, let's see. Pop says, you said something about making self-care a business decision. And it makes you feel like, oh, okay, there we go. I did. I did. Sorry. And sorry to Britt's friends. Normally I don't swear, but I guess got a little fired up there. So Pop says, number 1 is helping Mel set up her vendor show. Well, if that's not the truth. Oh, man. And Mel says, he's messing with you. Yes. Yeah, I know about the language, but I don't think he's messing about the vendor show. But you know what, Britt? That's really nice that you're doing it. And here's the thing. Okay. So we want to be able to say no to things, but the reality is we do have responsibilities to the people that we care about. And we'll probably talk about this on week 3 when we're talking about relationships. So we want to be able to set boundaries. We want to be able to do the things that mean, something to us, but we can't always be like, I don't want to help you do your vendor show, babe. Sorry, go and figure it out by yourself, right? But what you can do is you can bring lightness to that event. So right now, you don't want to do the setup for the vendor show, but Mel needs you to do the vendor show. So what you could either do is you could pay somebody else to help. That's an option, right? You can be like, hey, babe, I really don't want to help set up. So let's pay somebody, or let's pay a kid to help set up, or let's do whatever, right? That is an option to delegate it out. Or you could do it, but you could be like, okay, what around it is making me not want it, right? Like, because you want to help Mel. I know you do. You're such a wonderful husband. But what part of it don't you want to do? And see if there's ways of lightening that kind of thing, right? Maybe it's you don't want to get up early, or maybe whatever it is, and you can figure out a way to make it more easeful for you. Mel says, attending workshops this summer. Okay, that's fair. And Pop says, it hurts my back. Okay, well, then why don't you figure out if there's somebody else that you can get to help you guys set up? That's fair. I think that's very reasonable. Now you know when it's going to be. Maybe you have to pay a kid, right? Like there's kids out there that are always looking for things to help mow lawns, do this kind of thing. Maybe you can just say, hey, meet me at the vendor show at X time and I'll pay you whatever it is to help me set up and take down, right? Okay. So for me, what's something that I've said yes to lately that I wish I hadn't? It's so funny. I'm having a hard time, but I'm sure my mom's going to remind me of something. what I've been doing good about is I've been good at not really committing to things. That's one of the kind of silver linings that have come out of this whole thing. For instance, I met up with this gal, and I used to network with her all the time. And I met up with her yet last night, and she's like, "Hey, are you coming to the event next week?" And it made it very easy for me to say, probably not. I hope I can. If I can fit it in and nothing else comes up, then I will try, because I do want to be there. But I don't want to commit to it, because I don't want to feel pressure to go to it. And so I've been really kind of tempering my yeses and buffering them with I may not show up. And that's felt really, really good. I'm trying to think of something that maybe I've said yes to that I didn't want to. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. So second question is, what's a simple daily habit that makes you feel amazing? Okay, so this is going to be TMI, but mine is I'm going to say, so you guys know I love morning walks and I love the sunshine, right? Those are my two favorite things in the morning. But what I am going to say is I feel amazing when I shower in the morning, and that's something that I haven't been doing every morning. I'm like getting to the point that like I showered one time at night. I don't like that. It doesn't feel good for me. So that is one thing that just makes me feel amazing, to like start my day with a shower, end it with a cold shower for 90 seconds. It feels so good. And then also getting my sunlight. So number 2 for you guys is Britt says sitting outside under the shade tree with Mel. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so good. And you guys do that daily. And it sounds like you're under the shade tree, and then Mel is like sprawled out next to you getting some sun. Mel says, my daily devotion outside every morning and spending time with Britt and Russ, my oldest. Oh, that's so good. So good. Oh, you guys, I love this. Okay. And then the last one, and then we're going to wrap up for the day. Number 3 is, when do you feel most calm and centered? I will definitely say when I am outside walking, that I feel the calmest. And also, if I'm in any situation, if I do this, if I take my hand and I just put it right on my chest and across my heart, it like immediately calms me down. Tapping, meditation, all these kinds of things calm me down. This immediately calms me down. So that's one of the things, my go-tos, that I feel the most calm when I'm doing that. Britt says, I don't go outside until the shade is there. She does. Yes, that's fair. And then Mel says, number 3, most calm and centered, being outside in the sunshine. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm totally with you there. Okay, Britt, if you want to share number 3, did you already do that? I don't know. I don't think so. So if you, So if you want to share that, that would be excellent. I hope to see you guys over in the Happy Circle. I'm really, really excited about it. We start the 22-day challenge on Sunday. And then we have our first virtual happy hour tomorrow night. And then we have our first book club next Thursday. So everything is starting to roll. And then we have our mastermind accountability session on Saturday morning. So there's always something for you. The value is so good that you don't have to show up for all of it, but you can. And I really can't wait to see you guys in there. If I don't see you this week, that's okay. And I will see you next week on Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, and bring a friend. Britt, thank you so much for bringing all your friends. That was really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And Pop says, number 3 is love the time under the shade tree, but also enjoying getting back to streaming and racing. I'm so happy you're back to doing that. I really am, man. That's really, really great. All right, you guys, I love you, love you, love you. Big hugs, and I will see you next week. Britt says, have a great week, and I hope you do too. Make it a happy and healthy one. Love you. Love you, Mel. Love you guys. Bye.